usually when we're live on 4 platforms, and we're going to be answering a lot of questions about car shopping. If you don't get your questions in early, they might not get answered. So start typing your questions now. And good to see you, Corey Duncan, Renee, and we'll get to as many questions as we can. As I said, I'm known as Deshone the Auto Advisor. I spent 14 years in the car business. Now I teach you the steps you need to know to get below market car deals from home. Whether you're a great negotiator or a bad negotiator, when you know what you're doing, you'll pay less than everyone else. And that's what I like to make sure you know. So start typing your questions in. Everything I'll be teaching today is out of my new digital book. It's called Cars from Home, 7 Steps to Saving Time, Money, and Avoiding Dealerships. You can get a copy for 75% off as part of our welcome offer in my TikTok bio, my Instagram bio, the YouTube comments, or the Facebook comments, but it's only for 30 minutes. Normally it's $97, worth every penny, but if you get there before 30 minutes, you got your copy for $24. Okay? All right, Dolan, start putting the questions up. Let's get to as many as we can. Start typing your questions, everyone. We are live. We are live. And let's see. Go ahead, Dolan. We're ready for you. Okay, who would you recommend oh, that was the one I answered, manually before we came on. I see we got questions coming on Instagram. Yeah, we got a lot of questions coming in. So let's go. We did that one already, Dolan. I didn't really, I answered it, but I didn't answer it, I didn't, I called it out. What's the process of purchasing a car in the name of your business? Well, the biggest thing to understand is that nothing changes except who you're going to put the whose name is the car going in. That's the big thing. Whenever you're buying a car, leasing a car in the business name, you still got to shop. You still got to get the best deal. You still got to make sure you're not overpaying for your financing. You still got to make sure that you're getting the most money for your old car, not your trade. We don't trade. We like to sell these cars. So all of this stays the same. The only thing that changes is when it's time to buy the car, you ask, when they ask whose name is the vehicle going in, it's going in a business name. Depending on the type of deal, you might need commercial insurance, depending on what type of vehicle you're getting. But other than that, the process of getting a great deal in your business name, 95% of it is the same as getting a great deal in your personal name. Shopping multiple offers. Don't make a decision until you see at least 5 offers. You see a $5,000 price difference between the best offer and the lowest offer. You pick the best offer, you get out of the market. None of that's going to change, regardless of whether it's in your personal name or the business name. Okay, go ahead, Dolan. Now, those of you, there are people trying to teach you how to buy cars in your business name without personal guarantees and all of that. I don't teach that. But yeah, everything else is the same. People are overpaying like crazy buying cars in their business name. When is the best time to purchase a new vehicle? So there's no best time. It's a lie. It's marketing. And if you think about it, car dealers they've gotten us to do things that benefit them, regardless. Come into the showroom at the end of the month. It benefits us. Come into the showroom on the weekends. Benefits us. As long as you guys continue to go into the dealers are going to continue to be the same. When you guys stop going in and you start going to your computer, where we make our deals from. When you see me share people on this screen, people like Danielle, Greg, Bonita, Tope, Aretha, all of these people that you see me share throughout our streams, these people are making their deals from home. And that's where you want to be, because here's what you want. You want a desperate deal. You want a deal that the dealer makes because they're desperate. They need to sell a car. They need to hit a unit. That's the only reason why they're giving you such a big discount. I just got an Infiniti the other day. I leased it. I saved over $8,000 off the vehicle. That particular dealer that won the bid for my business, $499 a month, $1,200 out of pocket. It's a $54,000 vehicle. They needed that deal. That wasn't a deal they want to make with everyone. And what they've taught you as dealers, they've taught you that the deals that you see on commercials are deals. No, they're not deals, because no dealer wants to give away a car where they make no money over and over again. Dealers only do these deals because they're desperate and they need to hit their numbers. That means that they're not giving you a better deal when there's 200 people in the showroom. Why would that? You know what I'm saying? That would. What's up, Joey Cantu? Good to see everybody tapping in on TikTok. Shout out to everybody double tapping the screen. Thank you. Shout out to everybody hitting the likes, and shout out to everybody who's hitting the share button. We appreciate you helping us spread this mission. You know, we can't get this financial literacy out without the people who help us run these numbers up. So we appreciate you. What's up, Messi? Good to see you. Yeah. So when the showroom has 100 people in it because it's a holiday, that's the illusion that you're getting a better deal. But no one's. Why would we need to give you a better deal when there's no desperation? We have people all over the place. We got 100 customers in here. We have more customers than cars. Why would we be giving you a better deal? But years and years of commercials have helped people think that they're going to come into the showrooms at the end of the year. They're going to come at the end of the month thinking they're getting a better deal. And that's fine. It works great for car dealers. But what we know is we position ourselves. Sometimes the first week of the month is the best deal. Sometimes the second week, when car dealers look around and they see they haven't sold a car and it's the 10th of the month. They got to sell 200 new cars. They're only at, 30. So they're behind. See, what they've taught you is every month at the end of the month, car dealers just need to hit their numbers. Every month at the end of the month, come on in, because car dealers need to hit their numbers. So no dealers hitting their numbers on the 20th. No dealers hitting their numbers on the 25th. It's all coming the end of the month. Does that make sense? You get what I'm saying? Type a question mark if you're starting to think this doesn't really make sense. You tell us to come into the showrooms at the end of the month. You tell us we're going to get a better deal, but then at the same time, the place is so full. You could tell us no. You could throw us out, and you're still going to win. The end of the month is the time where dealers name their price and they say, hey, take it or leave it. We got too many people in here. Listen, Mr. Duncan, we appreciate you, but listen, we got way too many people in the showroom. The price is $6.99 a month. That's the best we can do for you. Listen, I'm sorry if it's not in your budget, but we gotta, that's the best we can do right now. Now they're letting you go. See, the last thing they want you to do is shop their competition. They don't want you to shop their competition. So they're going to let you go knowing that you're not going to go shop. And that's how people just end up saying, well, I guess I'll just take whatever they're offering. There's no desperation. So that's why I want to, as we just pass through holidays and we're going into more holidays, I like to get that out the way. Let's get that out the way. Let's get the foolishness out the way about the end of the month, better deals. And you can explain this to people from now on. Whenever somebody comes and tells you, hey, end of the month, you just ask them, how desperate are the car dealers at the end of the month? If they're not desperate, they're not going to make good deals. It's simple. So what you want to do is you want to be positioned. You want to be positioned, reach out to these dealers, let them know who you are, and you want to have 2 dates. 2 dates. Every time you buy a car, 2 very important dates. Soon as date, this is the soonest date you can make a deal. You should not be talking to dealers about prices until you can make a deal. Second date is the no later than date. This is your deadline. This is your lease is up. You've used your extension. This is you need a car. You got to get to work. You want to have those 2 dates. And you want to be shopping in between those dates. You want to be positioned in between those dates. That's why we reach out to dealers early We're having conversations with them. If you have a lead, I always like to see you shop for at least 3 months. At least 3 months, because the offers are going to change every month. The used car prices are going to change, and you can monitor those deals. So I wouldn't say there's a best time to purchase a car, but there's certainly a worst time. And I think the worst time is when you need it and you're desperate in the dealership and you're there when they told you to come. That's just my opinion. I have never, because you can't get anything done from inside the dealership. You just can't. You can't get, can you get offers from competitors from inside the dealership? Can you get offers for your trade-in from inside the dealership? Can you get offers for your loan from inside the dealership? No. No. That's why it's the worst place to be. Just talk to these dealers online, let them know what you're looking for, and then work your deals that way. You could do it my way, you could do it your way. But stop going into these dealers talking these numbers, because you just have no control there. Okay? But don't fall for the crap. It's marketing. It works. It works. Come on, Dolan. Let's go to let's get some more in. Keep typing your questions, y'all. Let's see how many we can get to. Is the Jeep Grand Wagoner a good buy? I would type that into Google. Any vehicle you wanna buy, type it into Google. Type in 2024 Jeep Grand Wagoneer initial quality. You should do this for every single vehicle that you're gonna get. Type in Jeep Grand Wagoneer initial quality. Type in Jeep Grand Wagoneer reliability. Skim those articles. If you see anything that says less than average reliability, that's a red flag. You know, anytime you see things where people are complaining, this is initial quality tells you what people are saying the first 90 days. Reliability tells you what people are saying the first 3 years. That's what you want to know. For those of you who are buying new cars or leasing new cars, you want to be checking initial quality and reliability. For those of you who are buying used cars that you plan to keep for 8 to 10 years or longer, you want to be searching longevity. Longevity. 2018 Kia Optima longevity. Always put the specific year. And this 5 minutes is going to save you from having a vehicle that's in the shop every 90 days because you didn't check to make sure that it was a good vehicle. I'm not talking about making sure you get a good used vehicle. Some of you know, if you're not new to the stream, when we get a used vehicle, we always make sure we're getting a good title, good service records, great service records, good accident history. But we're not but that doesn't determine if the vehicle has something we call bad DNA. Transmission problems. 80,000 miles, transmission's going to start slipping. Half of the people are going to have problems. Welcome, Day. I see. Welcome to the new followers. I see you. Shout out to the sharers. Thank you to everybody who hits the share button, continues to help grow this community and help get this information out. We appreciate you. But that's what you want. Every vehicle that you want to be looking at, get into the habit of doing this 5-minute check. This is actually in step 4 of my book. In my book, I break down the entire shopping process into 7 steps. And that's for new cars, used cars, leases. It's 7 steps. And step 4 is a step I call shopping, not buying. This is when we're deciding what we want. See, you have been taught you should just buy. You have mixed shopping with buying. You go in to shop, you end up buying. This is not strategy. You don't want to go in. Shopping is deciding what you want. You're about to make a 5-figure transaction. 5 figures. Every one of you, for the most part, some of you may be getting cars under 10 grand. Some of you may be getting cars over 100 grand. But for the most part, most of you are about to make a 5-figure decision. And you're not spending enough time shopping. You're not spending enough time deciding what you want, which is why I continually get these DMs. Deshone, I got a vehicle. I had it for a year. I want to get out of it. Well, No vehicle is made to be purchased and then replaced a year later without losing a lot of money, 20% minimum of what you paid. Get people who pay cash, they don't do this. So go ahead. I know I went off on a tangent there, but I think you got to go. You do those checks: longevity, initial quality, reliability. Each vehicle, type in the year, type in the make, type in the model. Initial quality is the 90 days. Reliability is the first 3 years. Longevity is going to tell us what's happening with that vehicle in the long term: transmission, engine issues, things of that nature. Okay. Get in the habit of spending that 7 or 8 minutes to check those things, and you don't have to ask people about their opinions on cars, because we just don't have enough information. 60 million cars are sold a year. It's probably 100,000 Jeep Wagoneers out there. There's just not enough no person has enough information to tell you whether that's a good vehicle or not. Okay, but Google definitely does. Go ahead, Dolan. All right, keep typing your questions, everybody. Good to see you, Paul. Good to see you, Lily. Good to see you, B. Haynes. Is it better to lease first and buy out? We never want to buy out our leases because the benefits of leasing are clear. Low payment, cents on the dollar. Let me show you what that looks like. So you look at Raphael. Raphael's driving a $46,000 Jeep Grand Cherokee. She's paying $549 a month. No money down. That means that's an incredibly low lease deal. It's a 1.19% lease. Some of you who lease may be familiar with the 1% rule. If your monthly payment is 1% of the MSRP or less, it's a steal. Incredible value. You're driving an expensive car for cents on the dollar. You look at somebody like India. India got a Hyundai. You guys can't see this on TikTok, but if you're on Facebook or YouTube or Instagram, you can see this. India got a 2024. She didn't like the lease program on the Corolla. She got a 2024 Hyundai Elantra, 36 months, $365 a month, no money down. That's an Elantra Limited. So it has all the nice features in it. It's not the base model. $365 a month, no money down. Some of you're better getting your child this instead of getting them a used car. You should be leasing them a car. But these are the benefits of leasing. Ansley, $58,000 vehicle, 2024. He's paying $554 a month, first payment down only. This is actually the same vehicle I got. I got a $54,000 one, $499 a month with $1,200 out of pocket. Infiniti QX60 Lux. I got the Pure, $54,000. So these are leasing. You drive a brand new car, cents on the dollar. The same car, some of you know, every $5,000 on a car loan is about how much per month? Let's see, who's new here? See if we got any people here that know the rules of what we teach, because a lot of what we teach here is principles. We do teach a lot of principles. Who knows every $5,000 on a car loan is about how much per month? We just want to drive the point home that you should not be on the fence about leasing or buying. I'm going to tell you why. We have a rule. It's step 1 in my book. It's called the 8-year rule. It says very simply, if you're not keeping your car, the next car you're shopping for, if you're not keeping it 8 years, you should be shopping for a below market lease. Thank you, Julie. $100. Thanks, Patricia. $90 to $100. Yes, MBG, $100. So when we say, see, part of the reason why people haven't learned about leasing yet is because they're getting bad lease deals. They're looking at these commercials. They don't know about below market leases that me and my people get. And they're judging those lease deals compared to a purchase. And that's why they're not leasing. So when you look at somebody like Ansley, this $58,000 vehicle, he's leasing it for $554. To purchase this same vehicle on a 5-year loan, he would need, thanks, Lori, I appreciate it. On a 5-year loan, with no money down, he's looking at about a $1,100 payment or $1,200 on a 5-year loan. $58,000 vehicle, $1,100-$1,200 a month all day long. We're not even factoring in tax, but he could have got a discount. Let's just say that's an $1,100 to $1,200 payment. There are people driving the same vehicle, no money down, $58,000 cars. They're paying $1,100 a month. Maybe they took a 6-year loan, or God forbid, a 7-year loan, because that's what people who can't afford they can't afford some of these monthly payments for these cars they're buying, and they just take the loan longer. Just give me a 7-year loan. Give me an 8-year loan. Some of you might not even know how long the loan is. That is a problem. That is a problem. Because what they're trying to get you to do is make bad decisions based on affordability. I see you. Thank you for double tapping the screen. Every time you hear something you like on TikTok, just double tap and y'all continue to see those likes go up. And TikTok lets everyone on TikTok know we're talking serious business over here, brings more people over. So thank you to everybody who's double tapping that screen. We appreciate you. But this is not even close. Leasing versus purchasing is not even close. Look at India's deal again. This Hyundai Sonata Limited. If that's a $30,000 vehicle, let's say it's a $28,000 vehicle, that's a $500, almost $600 a month payment for 5 years. So when she's paying $349 a month, these are real differences. Real differences. So that's why we don't go. And now, again, to wrap up the answer to your question, see, you'd have to be switching. See, leasing is so good. You'd have to be switching your entire ownership philosophy to stop leasing and to buy out your lease, which is buying a used car. That's all you're doing. Whenever you lease, you're buying a used car. The only difference is it's your car. It's no different. When people would come into the store, when I worked at Mercedes, they would buy their lease out, or General Motors. They buy their lease out, and then we put the new plate on for them. They're not even excited. They just signed up for a 5 or 6 year deal, 5 or 6 year loan on a car they've already had for 3 years. They've already been paying on it for 3 years, and now they're signing up for another 5 or 6 year loan. What's the total? If you leased the car for 3 years, then you bought the car on a 6 year loan, how many years is that? This is why this doesn't make sense. You leased it for 3, and plenty of people around the country are doing this. They lease their cars for 3. We never do 4-year loans, 4-year leases. Never take a 4-year lease. You're paying too much for a vehicle you're giving back. But once you lease it, you go and you buy that vehicle. You just went from driving a brand new vehicle, cents on the dollar, like Jen, like Rosalie, like Zafrina, like Teddy, all of these people who are driving brand new vehicles, but they're not keeping them 8 years. So they're not tying up their money in them. They're not tying up their money in them. You go from driving brand new vehicles, paying cents on the dollar, to buying a used car. It's a different philosophy. That's why it's about, what are your reasons for buying your lease out? What I see is people just don't want to shop. People say, oh, my lease is up in 2 months. I'm just gonna buy it out because I don't feel like doing the whole dealership thing. That's not a reason. That's not a good reason to make a bad financial decision. I'm gonna buy, and some of you buying your leases out, you're not even checking to see if this is a good price. People are paying $20,000 to buy their lease out for a vehicle that they could find that same vehicle for $18,000. Or they're going over their lease mileage and then buying the vehicle out because they went over their lease mileage. These are all incorrect things. Choose your mileage wisely. Don't buy the lease. When your lease is up, you go get another lease. Oh, people say, Deshone, what do I do when it's up? You go get another one. I go drive a brand new Infiniti for 3 years. Perfect. That's up. I'm going to go drive something else for 3 years. And that's what I'm going to do. I'm driving brand new vehicles. They're always under warranty. I'm paying super low payments. I get to keep lots of cash flow in my house because my car payments are low. We've never had a $700,000, $800,000, $900,000 car payment. In fact, before this one with the Infiniti we didn't even have a $400 car payment. These are the first payments we have that are in the fours, and they're for 50 something $1,000 vehicles. It's just not even any questions you guys have about leasing, feel free to ask. That is certainly half the battle. Besides you not knowing how to shop dealers and put them against each other, the leasing versus buying is losing you thousands of dollars. Every time you purchase, but you should have leased, you lost thousands of dollars. $5,000 to $7,000 each car, maybe more, because you just can't put a price on. Zafrina here, $65,000 vehicle, she's paying $579 a month. Incredible lease deal that she got using our system. So if you want to know, obviously, hey, Deshone, I need to know about leasing, and then I need to know, how do I get these deals? Deshone, I'm not leasing, I'm purchasing, but how do I make sure I save all the money off of these cars? That's all in my new digital book. We use it. This is everything we talk about here. You want to learn to put dealers against each other. Stop negotiating with dealers. Start making them bid, because every dealer has a different price. Remember this. It's like when you walk into a supermarket, if you see spaghetti sauce on sale, $3.99. You walk into another supermarket, the exact same spaghetti sauce is not on sale, it's $6.99. And then you walk into another supermarket and you see another sale, the exact same spaghetti sauce is $1.99. How is that possible? Retailers are selling for a different price. Same thing with cars. One Nissan dealer has a different price on the Nissan Altima than this Nissan dealer. Everyone is different. So in order for you to save the big money, you want to start saving the big money, and you want to guarantee that you save all the money you can, you need a system that's going to start making dealers bid, that's going to allow you to see all the options in the market, instead of this, what NADA told us when we sold cars, customers only visiting 2 dealerships. That's NADA, which is a huge company that reports to car dealers and tells us what's going on in the market. They told us you're only shopping 2 dealers. That they're using that against you. They know you're not going to shop more than one or 2 dealers. So what you want to do is change that philosophy, learn to get at least, I have a system where I teach you how to get 25 dealers to compete for your business. Takes us 20 minutes. It's called the 25 to 5. We do this for new cars and leases. So all of this is in my new digital book. It's called Cars from Home, 7 Steps to Saving Time, Money, and Avoiding Dealerships. I want you saving time. I don't want you in a dealership more than 20, 30 minutes ever. I want you saving all the money that you should be saving. And I want you avoiding dealerships. You should not be talking numbers in dealers ever. All of this I'm going to lay out for you and teach you in my 7-step book. You can go get your copy. It's normally $97. But if you get to my TikTok bio or the Instagram bio or the YouTube comments or the Facebook comments, click that link before 30 minutes, you got your copy for $24. That's our welcome offer. All our new people, we give you a welcome offer where you can get your book for 75% off. So you won't pay the normal $97. You'll pay $24, but get there before 30 minutes is up. Now, as soon as you pay, make sure you save, screenshot the thank you page. You can open the book right there. It says, as soon as you pay, click here to open your book. Then you can actually, we email you a copy. But sometimes you type your email wrong and we can't email you a copy to a wrong email. So you'll have my support team's email Monday through Friday. Reach out to them. If you don't see your book in the next minute, 5-10 minutes, reach out to them so they can get you your book. You have everything I teach step by step. That is the blueprint. And you can Google that book. It's 5-star rated very high on Goodreads. Thank you to everyone who's reviewed the book. We appreciate you. So go get your book. Come back to the broadcast. What's the lowest interest rate for a person with A1 credit right now? This is what I call feeling for the bottom. We don't want to do this because there's no way for us to know. What's the most I could get off of a BMW X5? What's the lowest I could get for this vehicle? The only way for us to know this is for us to shop the market and for us to allow people to compete and show us what they will offer us. We use a strategy for getting our loans called the bank bidding war. It's 3 rounds. 3 rounds. The first round is we're going to check to see are there any special interest rates on the vehicle we're shopping for. So if we're shopping for a 2021 Toyota Camry, are there any special interest rates for certified vehicles? If we're shopping for a brand new Hyundai Elantra, are there any special interest rates for brand new Hyundai Elantras? 0%, 1%, 2%. You know, things that no bank, no credit union would be able to touch. That's what we want to check first. Now, that's round 1. If there's a special interest rate, we don't need to shop anymore. If there's not a special interest rate, now what we're going to do, I have a tool in my book. It's called the Perfect Budget Calculator. It allows you to take the average interest rate. We tell you what the average interest rate is. You could take that average interest rate, tell us what you want your payment to be, tell us what your state is, how much down payment you want to do. And what we're going to do is that's going to create a bunch of goals for you. Who's ever been in a position where you're like, okay, I want to spend 30,000, 30,000, 30,000, and then you end up spending 32, 31? Type me if that's ever happened to you. Now, you can't negotiate the buyout on a lease. I haven't ever seen it. That number's set from the start. So what happens is when that happens, what you're dealing with is well, let's stay on the bank bidding war, round 2. So once you have this tool, and again, the reason why, see, some of this stuff I invented. I'll give you the manual way to do anything that we do. Anything you want to try to do on your own, I'll give you the manual way to do it. We reach out to 25 dealers online. You could go and you can call around. I always tell you, ask for managers, try to deal with only managers. If you don't want to talk to anybody, you use our system. But there are tools that we've created that no one else uses because we made them. So in my book is something called the Perfect Budget Calculator. That's going to give you multiple goals. It'll tell you if you get a 5-year loan and you want to do no money down, this is what you can spend on a car. And it takes into account the taxes, the fees, because that's where it usually gets you. You go in, you're looking at a $30,000 car. You didn't factor in those taxes. You didn't factor in those fees, right? Next thing you know, they're like, oh, well, you got $3,000 in taxes and fees. Our calculator factors in for that early, and it tells you if you want to be at this payment, no money down, 5-year loan, that this is the state you live in, you can't spend any more than this on a car. And then it gives you other goals. And your max goal is going to be a 6-year loan with money down, using equity at your monthly payment. See, the reason why you're going over budget is because you don't have any goals below your max budget. I'm gonna say that again. Type a $ if you understand. When you go into the dealership or you go shopping with your max budget in mind, you're usually always gonna go over. What you need is multiple goals below your max. Once you have multiple goals below your max, now you can actually go in and start to look, can I find a vehicle for $23,000? Nope, I can't. All right, then I got to go up. Can I find something for $27,000? Nope, I can't. $28,000. Now your max budget might be $31,200, but we're not going there yet. And that's how you want to raise your budget. You never want a car salesman raising your budget for you. You want to raise your own budget. And in order for you to do that, you have had to set it. So I created it's called the Perfect Budget Calculator for those of you who are buying, purchasing cars. You plug that in, it's going to be your best friend. Now I have lease calculators and calculators we use for leases, calculators we use for used cars. But this is the stuff that when I say I want this book to be the most valuable book you own, top 3 most valuable books you own, I mean it. Those calculators alone are worth the price of admission to get your book. Okay, but we always, so once you find your vehicle, now we remember this. Never let anyone access your credit with a hard pull before you find your car. Welcome, Ray Bans. Welcome, Janet. I shout out to the new followers. Thanks, Lori. Never let anybody run your credit with a hard pull before you have found your car. Once your credit is accessed with a hard pull, there's something called the rate window. The credit bureaus allow you to shop competitors. You can call, once you make your deal, you can call Bank of America and say, hey, give me an offer. Navy Federal, give me an offer. Chase, give me an offer. TD, give me an offer. You can let all these people run your credit. And at the end of the rate window period, it takes us 2 days to do it. It's going to have the same effect on your credit score as one hard inquiry. So when you go out and you find your car, you make your best deal. Don't take the car. Don't say, oh, you want to take it today? No, there's a couple reasons you don't want to do that. First of all, especially if you have marginal credit. Sometimes the loan doesn't get funded. You got to bring the car back. But the real reason is if you're getting a loan, you want time to come home and shop your interest rates. That's the real reason. Put the car on hold. If you're not home already, you want to be home shopping interest rates. Or you're just going to buy the car and you'll always wonder, could I have gotten a better interest rate? It never goes away. I could ask you 3 years down the road, hey, you think you could have got a better interest rate on that? I don't know, man, probably. But when you had 10, 15, 20 banks competing, who understands that you're not going to have that thought? You're not going to have that buyer's remorse. Hey, you think you could have got a better loan? Nah, man, I had 20 banks look at my credit. No, and then I gave the dealers banks a chance to see if they could beat it. I got the best rate. You see what I'm saying? You want to guarantee. That's the difference. When you use what we're teaching you, you'll be able to guarantee that you paid the lowest amount for a car. Guarantee that you got the most amount for your trade-in. Guarantee that you got the lowest interest rate on your loan. Y'all, does that make sense? Type dollar signs if that makes sense. The world that we want you to step out of is a world where you had no assurance. You couldn't post your deal like Ansley and like these people I'm showing. Milligan. Look, Milligan saved $27,000 off a vehicle. It's doesn't even seem real. $79,000 electric Mercedes EQE. She got it for $51,300. Those of you who are on Facebook and Instagram, YouTube, you can see it. These deals don't come by accident. None of these people are posting their deals by accident. These come through strategy, making dealers bid, using the Cars from Home system. Cars from Home, this is where your power is, at home. This is where you make people compete at home. You use this thing that God gave us called a computer, and you use it for your advantage. And you're gonna be blown away by how empowered you are when you actually start shopping for cars the way you shop for these other things in life. You use the internet to shop for everything else, but when it comes to cars, you're not using it effectively. You haven't been taught how to shop for cars effectively using the internet. And that's all we do. We will never go in and spend more than 30 minutes in a car dealership negotiating or anything. We're not even ever negotiating in a dealership. You want your deals to be made from home. Whenever you're negotiating in a dealership, you're putting yourself in a position where someone can waste your time. You can't see the market. You can't get competitor offers. Nothing good happens in the dealership. All right, so that's the process we use, the bank bidding war process. Every other process to get your car loan is going to lead to buyer's remorse. It's always going to lead to, did I do the best I could have? When you get the bids, soon as you get my book, you get a blueprint called the Bank Bidding War Blueprint. I haven't combined it into my book yet, but for those of you who are getting you're financing your next car, it could be a used car, it could be a new car. But for those of you who are going to be financing, you're going to be using, you want to use the bank bidding war. That's going to be your only way to guarantee that you got the lowest loan in the market and you paid the lowest interest in the market. Okay, so all of this is in my new digital book, Cars from Home. For those who just jumped on, it's a digital book, so it could be in your inbox in literally 3 minutes. It's normally $97. Part of my welcome offer, you can get your copy for $24, but it's only for 30 minutes. You got to get to my TikTok bio, the Instagram bio, the YouTube comments, or the Facebook comments. Click those links. You'll see as soon as you click, has Get Deshone's new book, 75% off. As long as that timer hasn't hit zero, you got yours for $24. Once the 30-minute timer hits zero, the price does go back up to $97. And it's worth every penny. You can Google the book. You can read about it on Goodreads. You can see all the people who've reviewed it. But as part of my welcome offer, I would like you to, $24 is better than $97. So go grab your book, come back to the broadcast. As soon as you get your book, make sure you screenshot the thank you page. That has my support team's email. Some of you, you're typing very fast. You don't realize you type your email wrong. We can't email your book to an incorrect email. So Monday through Friday, you can always reach out to my support team if the book is not there in the next 5 to 10 minutes, and they'll get you your book. Make sure you check your spam too. Sometimes it does go to spam. And lastly, for those of you who want to work directly with me, if you qualify, we have a button that you can press in those links that says Shop with Deshone, and you can see if you qualify to shop for us to shop together. I've been shopping with people all around the country since 2021. So you can go to those same links. You see me sharing a lot. You see me sharing a lot of people in my Facebook group. It's the same system. It's just everyone learns different. Some people like a do-it-yourself system. Give me the do-it-yourself, Deshone. I'm going to follow the blueprint. That's my book. Some people like a done-with-you solution. You want a group of people. We have 2,000 people that came before you, 1,500, 1,600 people in our Facebook group, coaching by me. If you want to learn that way, videos instead of the book, you'll be able to watch 3 to 5 minute videos that I made. You can click that button that says Shop with Deshone. But again, everyone won't qualify for that program. But I don't care how you get it, just get it. I don't care how you pay less than everyone for cars, just pay less than everyone for cars. That's all that matters to me. That's why we make the information, we put it everywhere. Get in where you fit in. Go ahead, Dolan. What about buying a car with an active bankruptcy? As far as I know, I'm not an expert on credit, but as far as I know, you're going to have to wait for the bankruptcy to be discharged. And once you're cleared to go buy something, I've seen more people end up at a 700 credit score after less than a year out of a bankruptcy. I've seen a lot of people get to work. You should follow somebody by the name of Shonda Martin. Shonda, Shonda Martin. Her pages are Road to 750 Plus. She's all over YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. Road to 750 Plus. And what she does is she gives these insiders. She's just like me, except with credit, because she has the tools you'll need to get yourself to a great credit score fresh out of this bankruptcy. But I have seen people who came out of bankruptcy and they had a 700 score like within a year. If you're doing the right things, you can literally rebuild your score to a 700 very quickly. But I wouldn't know how to. If you didn't need a car before then, I would hold off. I would get an inexpensive car. Excuse me. I try to find something on Facebook Marketplace, $1,500 to $2,500 until I could get my credit to where, see, If you don't have the credit right now, most people are going out to flex, and they shouldn't be going out to flex. They should be setting themselves up. In my book, I teach a strategy for you got to know, are you keeping your car long term or not? If I'm keeping my car 8 to 10 years, but I have bad credit, that's not a hard fix. I got to get a great price on the car, and then I'm going to refinance the loan. Now that's easier said than done. That's why we have a book about it. You have to get a great price on the car, because oftentimes people with bad credit, they're taxing you on the car and the loan. You're overpaying for the car and the loan. And so, if you're there's nothing wrong with overpaying for the loan because you don't have good credit. But you need to get a great price on the car. And I know you may have not been taught to separate these things. Another thing we do with the Cars from Home system that we teach is we separate our transaction. Who you buy your car from, that's different than who you're going to get your loan from. That's different than who you're going to sell your old car to. Some of you, who's given a dealership 3 transactions? You bought a car from them, got a loan, traded your car in. Type me. If you've ever bought a car from a dealership, they got you the loan, and you traded your car into them, type me. Dush's, I see you on Instagram. It's in my Instagram bio. Click the link that's in my Instagram bio. There's a website there. Click that link. Come on, everybody, lock in. Lock in. I forget. Let me. Now I forgot the question that I just asked. See, sometimes I get to read in comments, and then I forget the questions that I asked. What's up, Hi Taylor? Okay, we're talking about separate. Okay, yes. If you guys have, so who's bought a car, traded in a car, and got a loan from the dealership? Let's see, who's going to be honest? Sometimes people don't like to be honest because they think we're going to talk about them here. But we're using you for a real example. If you're here, you could deal with the bad news, because that's what I am first. Nobody's going to get to the good news coming through this page without getting the bad news first. That's just what we do here. I got to tell you the mistakes you've been making, not shopping around. I got to tell you the mistakes you've been making, not leasing, not separating your loan, not separating the loan from who you buy the car from. So every single time you buy a car from a dealership and get a loan and you trade your car, that's 3 transactions. That's 3 different transactions that you just did with that dealer. You bought a car from them. You got a loan from them. See, there's people in the loan business, they don't sell cars. Think about that. There are people that are in the loan business, they do not sell cars. All they do is sell money. They don't have a car to sell you. They just want to give you a loan. Don't you think you should give them an opportunity? Yes or yes? Come on, stay by your keyboards. I know the people that are getting the most out of what we do here because you're always the most active. Some of you can't always type, but some of you who are active, I know you get the most out of what we do here. So when you look at 3, there's companies that only want to give you a loan. We need to get their offers. Now, the 3rd transaction is for those of you who've traded in a car. You've traded in a car. We don't trade because when you trade, you can't get bids. We get bids. We don't trade cars. We like to get our car on the market, on the online market, see companies like CarMax, Driveway, Carvana, AutoNation, Car Guru. These companies will write a check for our car, cut us a check the same day. So those of you who are just going into the dealer saying, hey, what will you give me for my old car? You're losing thousands of dollars. You're not putting your car on the open market where the buyers are. This isn't private party sales. This isn't Facebook Marketplace. These are companies that come, look at the car, inspect it, they go and cut a check. This is what we need to be doing. This is why we make the big money. Where's Michelle's deal? Michelle, and then you could always give the dealer a chance to match it. Where's Michelle's deal? 12,000. Look, $12,000 she was getting from Carvana. She was going to sell her car to Carvana. She ended up making a deal on her Honda Pilot, $597 a month, no money down. Look, and the dealer ended up matching the $12,000 equity. There's nothing wrong with that. Once you get the number from Carvana or Driveway or CarMax or Kelly's Blue Book Instant Cash Offer, we always give the dealer a chance to match it or beat it, but we have to come in with a number. Same thing with the bank bidding war. When we getting our loan, we always get a loan. We give the dealer a chance to beat the loan, but we have to have an offer. Everything that you want to be buying when it comes to your car, you want multiple offers. My two favorite words. I love them. I put them on a shirt if I could. Multiple offers is how you save the big money without even trying. I got $8,000 off this Infinity truck it took me 90 minutes to do. I went and picked up the vehicle weekend before last. It's easy. Because I'm sitting here, I'm talking to 25 Infinity dealers by email, not by phone, so you don't have to worry about, oh man, Deshone, you're going to teach us what to say. No, I'm going to teach you how to type. Once you learn how to type, you don't have to worry about what to say because you're just going to use my templates. I have all the emails written. I got all the templates written. You know, all it is just knowing what to say when dealers ask you, hey, when can you come in? When can I get you on the phone? Hey, we only are in person. You know, all the stuff that dealers are going to ask you, that's what my scripts are. Hey, we don't do quotes online. All of this stuff. I know because I used to work. I used to have to send those same emails out. It's nothing new. So yeah, that's it. That's it. I would focus on, you know, getting your loan separate. I know I was talking about with bad credit. If I'm keeping a car long term, but I got a bad loan, that's a refinance issue. That's a refinance issue. I'm paying 20%. 2 years from now, my credit's 750. I refinance down to 6%. I'm keeping my car. But you have to make sure you get a great car. Now, let's say you're not a long-term person, fresh out of bankruptcy. You're like Deshone, I'm not keeping a car 8 years at all. Then you should be shopping for a lease. Now, you can't qualify for a lease right now. So the first thing you want to do is shop for an inexpensive loan. I call it a smart car. The least expensive car you can get a loan on. $7,000 to $10,000 loan. Something that your payment, again, this is not a flex. Deshone, I'm going to get a $10,000 car. That ain't going to be what I like. It's up to you. You can set yourself up to lease in 2 years, or you can set yourself back. Everybody with bad credit want to go out and flex. You're not going to be close to leasing in 2 years. You go out, you get a $10,000 car, something small, something affordable, dependable, something that was 25,000 brand new, Hyundai Elantra, you know, Ford Focus, you know, something in that small category. You get something for 10,000, it's not going to be too old. You pay that payment for 2 years, you flip into a lease. Fix your credit. It's easy to fix your credit when your car payment is $250 a month. You go and get that expensive Dodge Charger you want, you're going to spend $650 a month for it. Your credit ain't getting fixed. Same money that you could have been putting into fixing your credit is now going into your car and insurance. That's why if you can't qualify for a lease, you should be getting an inexpensive car, $10,000 loan, get something small, dependable, build up a solid payment history for 2 years, and then you trading out of that into a lease. Don't need a car right now. Do you think interest rates will come down soon? You know, Juliana, it's no way for us to tell. That's why we just want to make sure we're shopping lots of banks, because we don't know what the bottom is when it comes to interest rates. So I of course I hope, but until I hope interest rates come down, but even when they do, we still need to be shopping. There's so many banks out here and credit unions. If a bank tells you your rate is 7.9%, what's to stop you? How do we know that that's a good rate? We don't. The only way we know it's a great rate is if we shop around, we get 5, 10, 15 offers for our rates. Now we know 7.9 was the best because everything else is higher. You see what I'm saying? That's the difference. Go ahead, Dolan. What's the highest doc fee you've seen? $8.99. It's a little obnoxious. Unfortunately, sometimes, some of the dealers, if they win the bid, they might have a higher doc fee. But yeah, that's usually, and again, whether it's a used car or a new car, once they win the bid, if they're the best price car, if they have the high doc fee, it doesn't matter. They're still the best. Okay, go ahead, Dolan. Do I look to a bank or credit union for my loan? We kind of went over that with the bank bidding war process. You should watch this over again. We use a process. Thanks, New York Gal. Appreciate it. We use a process called the bank bidding war, where we let multiple banks and credit unions compete for our loan. Okay? And we shop in a way where the credit unions allow us to do that. I mean, the credit bureaus allow us to do this. Can you negotiate the buyout on a lease? I haven't seen it. Usually, see, because that has nothing. This is what I tell you: who's had a dealership call you and say, "Come, bring your lease back early. We'll get you out of it." Who's had a deal? Who's had a dealer? Who's getting calls or emails or letters saying, "Hey, come on in. We'll get you out of your lease early." Who's getting those letters or calls? Let's go. Type fast. If you're getting those calls, this is why. Okay? They're predictable. They're predictable. It's always when people tell you they're getting you out of your lease early, it's not even between them. It's between you and the bank. You owe the bank a certain amount of money. In order for them to get you out of the lease early, they have to pay off that money. It's that simple. If they're trying to get you out of that lease early, but they're not paying off that loan, what they're doing is they're rolling over the remaining balance to your new car. So let's say you got 4 payments left on your lease. You go into a dealership, they get you out of it, you go into another lease. Whatever your new lease payment is, if you didn't have those 4 payments, it would have been lower. So you might say, Deshone, but I could afford it. It's $500 a month. But if you didn't have those 4 payments, it would have been $425 a month. Those 4 payments are in the new car. And what they depend on is the fact you're desperate and you're not going to see those numbers and you're not going to care about it. But the fact is, when you roll out of your lease early and you say, all right, well, I got 6 payments left. I'm just going to go in and get out of this thing. That money does not disappear. And the worst part about it is your next 3-year lease, you're paying for that old vehicle in the new one. So you're driving this new car around, but some of it is your old car that that balance, those 4 payments that you had to roll over. So that's why we're not big on getting out early unless it's a penalty we're trying to avoid. Then we'll consider getting out early. But that's between us and the bank. It's not the dealership. The dealership knows nothing about the car and it's the bank's car. That's why when they say, oh, we'll get you out, they're lying to you because it doesn't even belong to them. The car belongs to the bank. And most times, again, like I said, they just want you to come in so they'll roll these over. That's why we do an equity assessment ourselves. Step 2 in my book. First step is we need to decide whether we're buying versus or leasing. That's the 8-year rule. It's very simple. Are you keeping the next car 8 to 10 years? Yes, you buy. No, Deshone, definitely not. Then we should be shopping for a lease. A below market lease, not a regular lease. So once you make that, second thing we do is equity assessment. What is an equity assessment? We need to find out the most money we can get for our current car or our current lease. Who didn't know you could sell a lease? Who didn't know you could sell a lease? We've been doing this for 3 years. Some of you have low mileage cars. You drive a very low mileage. You may have equity. $3,000, $4,000, $5,000. We during the pandemic, we were helping people make $7,000 to $10,000 selling their leases. It was unbelievable. That's over. But there are still some people who have vehicles with high resale values and have vehicles with low miles that they're selling their leases. But this is what we do. We do an equity assessment ourselves. We don't let a dealer tell us anything. The dealer says my vehicle is worth this. No, we don't believe that. Like, what if they're lying? Oh, yeah, I didn't think about that. We do. So we need to verify what we can get. When you look and you do your own equity assessment, which I'll teach you how to do, takes 20 minutes. You get these 6 offers. You can see, wow, I see I could buy my lease for 20,000. Somebody wants to pay me 22. That means I could get out. You don't need a dealership to tell you, oh, because some of you gonna see, wait a minute, it don't look like I could get out my lease early, Deshone. I says I owe 20, but I'm only getting offers at 18, but I owe 20. Yeah, that means you got to stay in it until the end. You can't break the contract. Oh, so what if I call the dealer? If you call the dealer, they're gonna put you on a car. It's not even a question. A dealer is never going to say we can't put you on a car unless it's a negative equity, too much negative equity, or credit is way too bad. But a dealer, thanks New York Gal, a dealer is never going to say, nah, this is not that's why I got in trouble every now and then, because I used to tell people, hey, give it a second, wait, let's talk in 2 months. And they used to say to me, why'd you let them leave? I'm like, listen, I think we can make a better deal for them in 2 months. Yeah, we could force something now, but why do we force it now? And that's the thing. They would rather force a deal, have you say, oh yeah, well, that's good, versus let's just wait 2 months for a much better situation. So these are the things when you're dealing with me, this is how we move. And anybody who knows me in New Jersey, they'll tell you this is the way I've been. I have not changed. When I worked for Mercedes, it was the same way. Somebody came in, tried to buy their lease out, I'm trying to slow them down and talk them out of it. What are you doing this for? This is a horrible idea. Somebody came in and they kept buying their cars and they should have been leasing. I'm talking to them. Hey, you know you're spending a ton of money. You could be leasing. And a lot of those people who are open to financial literacy, they listen. But that's the way I've always been. When you take this car buying thing seriously, you're gonna see how much money is in it. The people who don't take it seriously, you don't know how much money you're losing. You don't know you're losing 5, 10 grand every single transaction. You don't take it seriously. But there's no way you're gonna get the results that we get. Danielle, Greg, 1% lease. Bonita, during the pandemic, $600 a month on a Kia Telluride. People was paying $800 a month for these during the pandemic. Look, $54,000 BMW 690. Sean's $20,000 discount off his F-150 Lightning. These are the things these things don't happen by accident. So those of you who are like, Deshone, I don't want to remember all of this. You went over a lot. I know I'm not going to remember all of this. Grab the book, grab your blueprint. That's that's Cars from Home, my new digital book, 7 steps to saving time, money, and avoiding dealerships. Cars from Home, 7 steps to saving time, money, and avoiding dealerships. You don't have to remember any of this. You'll have everything in a step-by-step format. First step is the most important question. It's the 8-year rule. As soon as you open the book, the first thing you are trying to decide whenever you buy or lease a car is 8-year rule. Am I keeping it 8 years or not? If I'm not keeping it 8 years, I'm shopping for a lease. It's just too cheap. The prices of these leases that we are getting are too cheap. Nobody can compete with, no buyer can compete. I don't care if you buy used, I don't care if you buy new, you cannot compete with below market lease deals in the short term. In the 8 years, you'll win. Once you get to 8 years, yes, you won. You paid all of that money, paid off your car. Now the depreciation is cooled off, you won. But in the short term, the leasing person is always going to win. Always going to win. Ansley, $554 a month, $58,000 car. He's winning. A person who's purchasing this vehicle is spending $1,200, $1,100. Even if they bought a used one, they're still spending $800. You see what I'm saying? So step one is always the leasing versus buying question. Thanks, New York Gal. Appreciate you. Step two, equity assessment. For those of you who have a vehicle that you'll be replacing or a lease that's gonna be expiring, we have to do an equity assessment on that. See how much money, can we pull any money out of it? Is there any equity? Then we move into deal focused budgeting. How do we know a deal? How do we know a deal when it appears? Then we move into shopping, not buying. This is when we do our test drives. This is when we decide what we want. Many of you, you're not spending enough time deciding what you want. You're letting people rush you to make a $50,000 decision. This is not what we do. Step five, we move into the market. We start getting offers. If you're buying a used car, I'm going to show you how to use my marketplace strategy, where you see the entire market within 100, 150 miles of you, and you're going to narrow it down based on title history, service records, accident history. I'm going to show you how to get the original price of the car. We do that in a couple different ways. You need the original price so you can see what's in the car, and so you can see how much discount you're getting off the original price. This is our used car strategy. That's all in there step by step. Step 6 is paperwork. Step 7 is delivery. By the time you get to step 7 in my book, I'm congratulating you on delivery. Either they're delivering the car to you or you're about to go pick it up. That's how it is. And it's in there for leasing, purchasing, new cars, used cars, high mileage drivers. It's all in there. And you can get your copy. It's normally $97. You can get your copy for $24 as part of my welcome offer, but it's only for 30 minutes. So you can go to my TikTok bio, my Instagram bio, the YouTube comments, or the Facebook comments. I have a link there for you. Click that to activate your 75% off. And then you'll see a button that says click the book. As long as you get there before the 30 minutes, you got your copy for $24. Okay, make sure as soon as you get your book, please screenshot the thank you page so you have my support team's email. Check your junk, check your spam. If your book is not there in 5 to 10 minutes, connect with my support team Monday through Friday. They'll make sure that you get your book. And lastly, for those of you who want to shop together, you want to consider, if you want to see if you qualify for us to shop together, there's a button there for you guys too. I have been shopping with people all around the country since 2021 for the last 3 years. This is where instead of reading, you guys have access. You'll have access to videos. You have access to coaching calls with me twice a month, our private Facebook group. However you decide you want to learn, doesn't matter to me. I just want to make sure you pay less than everyone else for cars. So watch the free streams, watch the free videos, get the blueprint, join the course. It doesn't matter. Just make sure you are applying what you are learning so that when you get your cars, you're proud to send me the deals. I want you to feel proud sending me the numbers. And the only way you're going to do that is to shop the market. Okay? Confidence comes from shopping the market. Every single car you're getting, you should be getting at least 5 to 7 offers minimum. Okay? And that's what we want you to do. That's how you save the big money. My Dukes, the book is in the TikTok bio. Just click the picture of me. Go to my TikTok bio. You'll see a website there. That's where you get your 75% off at. Okay? Eliza, welcome. Welcome to the new followers. Thank you, everybody, for tapping in. We will be back for another stream. Everybody who got your book, enjoy it, use it, hold yourself accountable, stick with the steps, don't jump ahead. You shouldn't be at step 7 until you're picking up your new car. Okay? And for those of you who are working with me personally, I'll see you inside. I'll see you on our Facebook group. All right? God bless. Let's continue to unlearn so that we can relearn.